Hello, my dear friends. I welcome you to this edition of Marriage Without Tears channel. It is the awesome channel for couples who are engaged or who are involved in a marital relationship. This is where we edify them with timely principles on how to run effective and effectual marriages and family lives. So welcome to this edition. Tonight on Marriage Without Tears, we are looking at the issue of unrequited love. Have you ever been so hopelessly in love with somebody and somehow you have invested so much in the love relationship? Your time, your energy, your resources, everything, your emotional well-being, your physical and mental capacities, everything is seeded or sold into the relationship, only for you to wake up to discover that your partner does not love you in return. That you are actually the only one investing. It does appear as if all your investment is like pouring water into a sieve. That is what is called unrequited love. It can happen to singles in their process of discovering one another, that one of them becomes hopelessly in love with the other, does not seem to, get hold of himself or herself anytime the other one is around, to the level whereby the other person is now taking the other person for granted. It appears as if the love is just one-sided. The other one is not returning the love affair. Is not returning the love emotions. Is not investing in the love relationship. It can also happen in the midst of married couples, people who are already in relationships of marriage. Somehow you got married with a lot of fanfare, a lot of celebration, but over a period of time, you discover that your spouse is drifting apart, is no longer truly in love with you. Somehow is now looking outside of the boundaries of the relationship, even though he or she does not want to totally extricate himself from the relationship that he presently have with you, but the eyes are already on the outside, seeking for joy, seeking for fulfillment in people outside, to the extent that all your investments in the relationship is now one-sided. That is what called unrequited love. It can be very painful, it can be very distasteful, it can be very displeasing, it can cause a lot of emotional and physical damage on the victim, and that is why we want to discuss it tonight. If you are actually one who is yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. Look at this red button by my side. Once you click on it, you become a subscriber. You become a part and parcel of this channel, and then you can now go through our playlist and see a whole lot of videos we have done on marriage and family relationship, so that your relationship can get better and better as the years go by. So please click this red button, get subscribed to this channel, and be part of it. Now, what are the things that give rise to unrequited love? One of the things I identified actually is the issue of a long gap in terms of age differences. An 18-year-old woman in love with a 50-year-old man, and the 50-year-old man is beginning to look at the 18-year-old person as, I don't want to be seen with somebody like my daughter. It's like me, it's like a daughter to me. I'm not so free to move around with her, to the extent that instead of carrying that young lady as a baby to nurture, he prefers somebody that is within his own age range to enjoy a relationship with. And I have seen that happen many times over. The young lady is so infatuated, so driven by lust, so driven by passion, that she is in love with him, but the love is not returned. I have also seen a 30-year-old man who is, the person that is in love with him is a 70-year-old woman, who by all intents and purposes is at the age of being the mother to the 30-year-old young man, but she invests everything in what we call sweet what we call it, sweet mommy or whatever, sugar mommy or something like that. She invests everything in the relationship, and the young man is like, what is happening around me? I cannot be seen with her. She's like my mommy. So this, when there's a gap, serious gap in age, it can give rise to unrequited love. It can give rise to it. Another thing that can give rise to unrequited love is when the relationship is hindered by inadequate communication. When the communication pattern is very, very low. When the communication is not effectual. I have seen couples, for whatever reason, either for professional or other reasons, they're separated. Positive separation, I call it. Not because of a conflict, but because of their professions. One is living in Canada, the other one in Nigeria. And for whatever reason, they are no longer communicating the way they should. Before you know it, the one in Canada or the one in Nigeria gets himself or herself hooked up with somebody else, and the relationship they had begins to die. It begins to become a one-sided affair, because one of them may still be in love with the other, but the other one's love is going down. Unrequited love, it can be very terrible in a union. Another thing that can cause it is when you have no common interests. You don't have you don't share common interest in hobbies, in things that will get you excited in the marriage. There's no area of sharing. When there's a lack of sharing, I mean, the other one is so good in sports, the other one is not. The other one is so good with music, the other one is not. I mean, you can't simply find areas of interest between the couple. It can happen to the level whereby at a point in time, the interests begin to go down, or one of them will be so hopelessly in love with the other, but the other does not find an area of interest, to share. These are some of the reasons why we have that. And of course, lack of mutual respect, which comes from taking one of the partners for granted. It has happened several times over. Unrequited love comes in different dimensions and has different cause scenarios. But one thing you must do is you must guard against your heart. In the next segment, I will tell us how to actually guide your heart. I love it when I see subscribers coming into this channel. It makes me happy. It makes me feel that we are doing something wonderful. And I believe that you are going to gain a lot from this channel. So click this red button and get subscribed as we go on. Now, what are some of the effects of unrequited love? Unrequited love gives rise to depression. I have seen people who lost their senses because the love was not returned. I have a sister who got married to somebody, and after just a month, the marriage packed up and she came back to the father's house. And from that moment till this hour, she had not recovered. She had not recovered. Love was not given back. She invested so much. She was passionate about the guy, but the guy just flinged her away and married another just a month after the wedding. I also know of another wonderful cousin of mine who is 6 feet below today, simply because the love she had for another was not reciprocated. It was not returned. So it can be very grievous because it carries a sense of rejection. You begin to feel am I not good enough? What is about me? What is happening? Why am I not good enough for this young man? Am I not good enough for this wonderful woman? Does it mean that I cannot win the heart of somebody you begin to think of so many things, and before you know it, the grief sinks in, and what comes out of it is depression. I've also seen it cause a lot of damage, violence, a lot of bitterness that snowballed into outright violence. I have seen lovers kill themselves as a result of passion, as a result of non-reciprocated passion. I've seen it happen many times over. As a matter of fact, I know of a couple who, killed themselves right inside the bedroom. The other one pulled a gun, killed her partner, then turned the gun to himself, simply because he discovered that his love and all his investments was not being requited. So these are some of the effects. That is why you must be careful. Those you get involved with, you must be very careful. Very, very careful. Once again, please click this red button, subscribe to my channel, and let's do this continually and be part of this channel continually. I want to see you as a member. I want to see you, expressing, showing, and giving me your comments in some of the videos we have packed already. Go through my playlist. You see a lot of videos that will minister to you. Comment on them. It will be my pleasure to respond immediately. And of course, how do you heal from a case of unrequited love? You love someone with a great passion, but the love is not returned. What do you do? The very first thing I must tell you is the process of what I call self-love. Turn the camera to yourself. Begin to love yourself first. Understand first of all that you are the best God has ever created. If you take a look at your thumbnail and you press it down somewhere, nobody upon the face of the earth has a similar thumbnail. You are the only one God created with that thumbnail. You are the best in God's project. Therefore, if somebody does not consider you good enough to be loved, that is his or her own problem or her own challenge. You must not consider yourself as being low or unlovable. No. It is simply that person's opinion, not the opinion of yourself, not the opinion of your friends, and certainly not the opinion of heaven. So you must learn to appreciate who you are. That's the first starting point. What I call self-love. Very, very important. Secondly, you must also learn to invest in yourself, to upgrade yourself, to upgrade your mental, spiritual, emotional capacities. Learn to invest in yourself. Seek out places to undergo certain courses that will enable you to become better than you are presently. Maybe there are situations or circumstances that makes your partner to look down on you. Atemize some of those things and begin to work on them. I can tell you in a year or two from now, you'll become better than what you are presently. So it's very important. Learn to invest in yourself. Thirdly, if you are experiencing unrequited love as a result of breakdown in communication, all you need to do is to quicken your communication. I know you may be busy in your different professions, in your different enterprise, in your study, in one thing or the other. You have a lot of alibis, a lot of excuses why the communication level came down. But you can set aside these excuses and begin to upgrade your communication. There are so many methods you can do this. You can do this by phone calls. You can do this by sending short text messages. You can do this by sending short WhatsApp messages. You can do this by all manner of means. It has become so easy now. At the click of a button, you can speak to somebody at the end of the world. So why not, quicken your communication rate? Living up your communication is very important. If you do that over a period of time, your communication between your partner will become normalized and the love level will also come up. It's very important. If you discover that unrequited love in your own case, you are suffering it because of age gap, age differences. If you discover that the person you truly love does not love you, please look back on yourself and check around. There are people who loves you more than you know. There are people who love you more than you. I can bet on you. There are so many people who got divorced by their spouses, accused wrongly, done all manner of things, and at the end of the day, they got thrown out by their spouses. Only for a few months or years later, they got picked up by another person and they became queens and princes in their home, in their new homes. So it's not the end of the world that somebody said he doesn't love you. It's not the end of the world. For everyone that says he doesn't love you, I can tell there are 1,000 people who love you more than you ever can imagine. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you'll be able to break out of your cocoon. I have seen people become hermetic, lock themselves in their rooms for years, no longer have the joy of going out and mingling with people simply because of unrequited love. You are making a mistake. All you need to do is clean yourself up. Take your bath, clean yourself up, wear your best dresses, go out, have an exciting time. Before you realize it, somebody else that is even better than the person you are mourning over, somebody else will come on the saddle, and your guess is as good as mine. So I don't want you to die of unrequited love. Don't become violent. Don't become acerbic. Don't become, don't terrorize yourself. Don't stop all this. You can come out of it. You can come out of it, and you can come out of it better and stronger to the glory of God. So once again, before you check out of this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, click this red button, get subscribed to my channel, be part of this channel, recommend this channel to your friends, to your workmates, to everybody around you, especially those in relationships of marriage or who are about to get married. Recommend this channel to them, and it will be my pleasure to always have you week after week. May God bless you. I thank you and I wish you well in your marriage and family life. God bless you. See you next week. Have an awesome time.